Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the C-Man, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the C-Man's Cinema Sit Down. I am outside the AMC at Garden State Plaza in New Jersey, and I gotta tell you, man, one of the things that I love about this theater is it has one of the bigger IMAX screens near me. But one of the things I hate about this theater is it's always packed out for early screenings. This movie comes out on the 27th. I'm seeing it on the 24th because there was a fan screening. This theater is always really good for that. But when you have a packed out IMAX theater, you have like 100, 200 something people filtering out of a theater. They always have these awesome pop-ups that are perfect to shoot a video in front of. And you got to wait for everybody to take their pictures. Takes a little while. But outside of that, I love this theater. And I love this theater for this movie. If you cannot see this on an IMAX, drive wherever the hell you got to go, man. This movie must be seen in theaters, must be seen in IMAX. Then if you want to go check out other theaters, do it after that. But this is one of those things where Tom Cruise talks all the time about he makes movies for the big screen. This is the definition of a big screen movie, man. I think y'all know what I'm getting ready to talk about. Why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat. We are getting ready to dive in, spoiler-free, but fresh out the theater, into Top Gun, Maverick, and goodness me. My mom's not a big Tom Cruise fan, and I understand plenty of people, for personal reasons, that might not like Tom Cruise. But if you are a freaking movie fan, this dude, man, he makes some of the most enthralling cinema that you will see any actor make. And so much of it has to do with the fact that he does his own stunts, and while Chris McQuarrie, not directing here, he's in on the screenplay, he's a producer, those two know how to do action better than anybody. And the thing is that they do just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And Tom Cruise does not disappoint in that realm at all in this movie. And it is things like that make something like Top Gun Maverick, I'm just flat out say it's better than the first movie. I rewatched Top Gun last night. Adore that movie. It's one of my all-time faves. But because of what is going on in this movie, and because it's Tom Cruise, and it's pretty much all of the actors. I think I heard somewhere that Cruise kind of demanded that any actors coming in were going to have to fly jets, planes in some manner. And it's one of those things where I was watching Top Gun last night, and also this movie is a wonderful tribute to Tony Scott. This thing opens, I thought I was still watching Top Gun last night, man. Like, it definitely knows how to play in on the sunsets and the sun ups. Those visuals and that glow that is so iconic to Top Gun all over this thing, although you get a lot more than just that. But this movie is such a wonderful ode, tribute, pays a ton of respect to Tony Scott. But yeah, man, when you are watching this movie, like, it's nuts, because when I was watching Top Gun last night, one of the first things you notice is this is early Tom Cruise before he's doing his own stunts. Heck, I'm pretty sure some of the motorcycle scenes in Top Gun are him like attached to a rig that's being pulled. That would never happen now. But it's so obvious in that opening sequence that they're not in those planes, and that you have, all of those wonderful shots of the jets being done by actual pilots, but none of the actors are in those. And that's the difference of this movie, is you get those shots and you can tell they are flying these freaking jets, man. And I was reading somewhere the only thing that he wasn't allowed to fly was an F-18. Otherwise, everything you see in here with Tom Cruise is him flying. And I know a lot of the actors are in spots. There's a moment where Miles Teller is in a plane, or in a jet, with Cruise. And Maverick, not Tom, but Maverick does something that's kind of wild. And I went, holy shit. At the same exact time, Miles Teller went, holy shit. And that's what this movie does, man. I mean, there are sequences where you are watching Tom Cruise fly a jet so low to the ground. Like, the amount of times I was like on the edge of my seat. And that's what Cruise does, And what's fun with something like Top Gun is I don't think Mission Impossible necessarily pulls on the emotional strings, doesn't really dive tons into character story or development, but this movie 100% does. And it's been a while, I feel like, because I'm always watching Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible movies, but I feel like it's been a while since we've gotten to see him lean into some of the more, romantic, emotional angles that we get. And this stuff just brought me back immediately to the 80s, man. Like, it was like 1986, man. You saw that smile, and that kid was just on screen again. And where he takes it emotionally, there's some romantic stuff with him and Jennifer Connelly, which is probably my biggest issue with the movie. I understand why it's there, and it should be there, but it does slow things down a little bit in the second act. But getting to see Cruise do some of those things was just a lot of fun, and getting to see this cast play off of each other. I don't know 90% of their names, but Miles Teller is fantastic in this, and getting to watch this team become a team. You see Tom Cruise teach this group to be a team. You really get invested in everybody without having to have tons of backstory to the characters. And obviously you feel the most for, Cruise's Maverick, Miles Teller's Rooster, Goose's kid. And that whole story is wonderful. And that's where you get some of that emotional, dramatic acting that I feel like I haven't seen from Cruise in a while. That's really wonderful. But the acting across the board in this is fantastic. And the story is really good. It's for me, it's even more riveting than the first Top Gun. Like, I was so locked in, so invested. And when you start to see where this thing goes, I mean, like I said, edge of my seat. I got teary-eyed, not necessarily because I was sad or overjoyed, but like the visceral thrill ride that this movie puts you in. Like, it makes your body physically react to some of the things that are going on. And at the end of the day, I mean, if you're a Top Gun fan, you are going to freaking love Top Gun Maverick. The first act is fantastic. The way they set it up, the way they bring things in, the way the movie opens, as a matter of fact, is you couldn't have a more perfect opening to a movie that stars Maverick. Where like, it's so, like, as soon as you come in, you're just like, yep, we're back where we want to be. And from there, I mean, what you get with some of the training and what they're asking these pilots to do, what the mission is, that was the thing that really got me with this one. I thought the mission made more sense, connected a little bit more to the viewer, where you were more engaged with what was going on. And as you're seeing them train and what they're doing training wise, like, that stuff is nuts. Second act sags a little bit. You got to fill in some of those story beats, but they're all really good. And the third act, I don't even know if there are words to accurately describe. Like I said, I was physically moved by what I was watching in the third act. I mean, the things that they're asking these guys to do, specifically the things that Tom Cruise is doing in these jets. I mean, like, the amount of times I thought him or many people may have died. it's nuts. So if you want to go out to the movies, maybe you haven't been out in a while, you need a movie that you're like, I need to go experience this. Top Gun Maverick is an experience. Go to the theater, see this thing. Like I said, IMAX, biggest screen possible. This thing is huge. It's like what we've seen in Mission Impossible, but on a different level. I mean, what they're doing in these jets, I can't say it enough. It's just nuts. So Top Gun Maverick, Top Gun's one of my all-time favorites. I think this one's better. I'm going to say it straight up. So let's get the Seat Maniacs up, but you know where I'm going. You can't, if you're going to be better than Top Gun, there's only one score you can give this movie. Cruise is phenomenal. Joseph Kosinski, the director, fantastic stuff. I know he had to trust, his guys when they were up in the air. He was on the ground. And what they pulled together, you can see the way him and Cruise work together. Wonderful stuff. The script is enthralling, both from the action, but also from what's at stake in the story and what you get performance-wise with these groups and where this movie goes. It fits perfectly in with the 1986 Top Gun. It feels like it literally just picks up right from there, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait, no, we got modern effects. And when I say modern effects, I mean practical effects, because there's not a lot of CGI in this movie. But yeah, I mean, this thing is stellar, start to finish. Obviously, 5 out of 5 Seat Maniacs. For this guy, I love this, man. I can't wait to go see this with my family. We'll probably get them in the theater. We'll get them talking on screen, too. You know how they love to do that. This is a movie, man. Take your friends, take your girlfriends, take your husbands, your wives, your kids, your family. Take everybody to go see Top Gun Maverick. It's freaking phenomenal, and I promise you, it is an experience. You're going to walk out going, holy crow. And the cool thing, too, is I heard more than one person or groups of people walking out of the theater going, I need to go watch the original now. And that's a wonderful thing for a sequel to do, especially one that's so far removed 30-plus years later. This thing's freaking great. I love it. Now I know what you're thinking. Obviously, I got a fan screening in, so seeing it a little earlier than most of you guys. But if you were at one of these fan screenings, mine was packed out. I'd be like 200-something people in there. If you've seen the movie, no spoilers, but what'd you think? Did it live up to the expectations? Was the action as mind-blowing as you hoped? Did Cruise, once again, do the unimaginable? Did he pull off multiple miracles, you might say, with this movie? Or did it not work for you? Did it fall flat? I mean, if you said that this movie falls flat, I got a question. You're just personal. So I don't, geez, but anything you got, man. Good, bad, indifferent. If you haven't seen the movie, have I excited you? Do you want to check this thing out? Whatever you got, put it down below in the comments section. Look forward to talking to you down there. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with the C-Man anytime we're talking movies, TV, trailer reactions. I think I'm going to do a spoiler on this bad boy when I see it again. Obviously, I said I'm going to take my parents, my family, go see this one. You want to be here for that? Maybe we can get the J-Man back on screen. You haven't yet. You want to show a little love and support? Jump over there, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell if you want those alerts. Until next time, for the C-Man's Cinema Sit Down, I've been the C-Man. I'm signing off. Peace.
Oh, hey, what's going on? You must be sticking around because you're looking for more content featuring this guy. Well, guess what? You're in the right place. You can check out more videos right here and right here. And if you have and you want to come join that C-Maniac Nation, you can hit that subscribe right over there.